Hey, everybody, it's Greg Dudzinski, licensed professional counselor, coming to you with the Art of Relationship show. Today, going to be talking about traditionalism. Are you a traditionalist? Where did you learn it from? Did you grow that way? Did you evolve that way? Did you learn from your parents, grandparents, whoever raised you? And I want you to take a second look at it and challenge those beliefs. And I'm going to tell you why right after this. So don't go anywhere. Be right back with the Art of Relationship show. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Going to be jumping right into it about traditional thoughts of relationships, about maybe how you want to live your life, okay? And where did you learn all those stuff from? We all know, we grew up, raised by, doesn't matter, two-parent household, single mother, grandmother raised us, whoever raised foster care, we were all inflicted, and I'm going to say inflicted, with those beliefs around us, right? Family, friends, whatever. You should live this way. You should, let's face it, graduate high school, go to college, trade school, get married, have a kid, live happily ever after, right? It doesn't work that way for a lot of people. So this episode is for those out there that are having problems finding your own identity versus, the identity that somebody else chose for you, more or less, maybe family, society, and everything else. Now, I'm not talking about a disclosure, okay? I am not talking about you're going out there and doing whatever the hell you want because I said you can, right? I don't want someone going out there raping, murdering, doing anything illegal or hurting other people. Hell no, not at all, okay? I want you to be able to go after and look at the challenges about what goes out for you. And this goes with gender roles, how you want to live your life, and to combat and challenge the traditional views, right? And this might tick some people off, right? Because they want to live this way. I've had my life lined up or laid out since I was 5 years old, 10 years old, because, right, that's what my mom told me how I should do it. Really? What if it doesn't work for you? Okay. So what if how you were taught is not really what you want to do? And again, I'm not talking about hurting other people, right? Or doing anything illegal. I want you to be able to challenge your views about those aspects. Maybe, it could be one of those, you've always wanted a tattoo and people would think you're, an evil person. You're a slut. You're all this if you have a tattoo. Here we go, right? Woohoo. I have a few of them. So, but it's something you want, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's also living the life that you want. We can get into about premarital sex, right? How many people were raised, maybe it's different now, but how many people were raised that, oh, you should wait until you get married to have sex? And I'm like, why should you do that? Right? Tell me why. And they're like, oh, because you're not used to anybody else and you have no one else to compare to. But what if you are not sexually compatible? But yet you get married, right? And you're supposed to remember, you're supposed to get married and to death do you part, or unless you kill each other, which I never want to promote. But why would you do that? And I promote people having premarital sex, right? And I know some religious views are going to bash me for that, but I'm going to be real. That's what I said about challenging traditional views in a realist perspective about that. What if you're sexually incompatibility and you're able to look at, what am I doing to combat that? I want to know what I can do to get away from that. And it's not a situation that it is a right, wrong, or indifferent. I want you to be able to look at, to challenge those beliefs and question, why is it this way? Just because? Is it because of religious views? No disrespect. But again, about, premarital sex, about sexual compatibility. You can talk all you want, right? And think and all this, but the reality is you don't know until you're living that way. What about another traditional view, right? Premarital sex, right? What about, living together before you get married. That was a taboo. When I was raised, that was taboo. Oh my God, you got to be evil, sinful person if you live with somebody before you get married because that's supposed to be evil or whatever. What the hell is that? Right. So I want people to challenge people, and I'm all about challenging popular beliefs. I'm all for people living together before they get married. Right. And a lot of people look at, the trial run. So if you get married and live together, you're forced to work it out. I'm like, really? So if you're miserable and you're not sexual compatible, so you still live together because you're married. Okay. These are some issues that I would love you, excuse me, to be able to challenge those beliefs. And what beliefs did you cut across the grain with? And are you able to, remove yourself from traditional roles and gender roles? And we could look at male, female gender roles, right? Women are supposed to be at home, taking care of the home, raising babies, raising kids, right? Not working. I'm like, what? I'm all about women being independent. I'm all about women working and about being an equal, about contributing financially, everything. And I'm also for men helping with the child care, making doctor's appointments. I'm all about that for both people doing that and being the true essence of a partner, whatever that means. There's still people out there that still want to be taken care of because, oh, my mom was taken care of, never worked. My grandmother never worked. Her grandmother never worked. And it goes down the road. So I'm a woman and I want to be taken care of. Then that's okay. But you need to find someone that's okay with it. But then someone still wants all the decision making power when it comes down to the situation. Well, a traditional role, right? Is it that the man makes money then if you stay at home? And so he should make all the decisions, right? That's how traditions are. I'm like, what? Yeah, I want you to be able to challenge these beliefs and be open and honest. And a lot of people will go after and not be open and honest about what they go after and what they want and what works for them in a relationship. And some people are downright unrealistic. Some people are very selfish as well when it comes to these elements. Okay. So these are elements that I want you to be able to look at. And it's not a right or wrong. It is looking at what do I do to come after it and to challenge those views. Okay. So I want you to be able to breach the traditional roles. Let me know why you believe what you believe. And you can enter the chat down below on YouTube, Facebook, wherever. And I want to know what the way you want to live, the way you breathe, the way your beliefs are, rituals. Why do you believe them? And have you ever questioned them and challenged them? Oh, that's what I was taught. That's how men are, right? Well, there's people out there that I can tell you left and right that are raised where all the men cheat. So that's what they know. And they think that's okay. And that's what happens. Oh, hell no. So I want you to be able to challenge those beliefs. And they come from, living accordingly to family constructs, family history, social history, religious history, those aspects. And I know a lot of people out there will bash me, ridicule me. I'm used to it. That's okay. When it comes on to when you talk about religious beliefs and challenging them, or even societal beliefs or how you were raised, how dare you question me, right? It was the old adage, right? Kids are supposed to be seen and not heard. That's how I was raised. So let's be honest. How dare you challenge those beliefs? And if you do, you're wrong. That's not how it works. That's not how you were raised. How many people believe or maybe can relate to that that's how you were told and taught? If you question the norm, if you question traditional views or how you were raised, you're wrong, you're evil, you're the black sheep in the family. All these elements that, oh my God, what did I do wrong? You weren't raised that way. Why are you this way? Because you're your own individual person, right? How many people are raised to be self-sufficient, to be responsible, to be your own individual, as long as your parents, grandparents, whoever raised you agree with it. So that's where I want to look at these avenues about traditional views and traditional values and to be able to challenge those beliefs, people. Not saying it's right or wrong. Some work for you, some don't work for you. One traditional value about me, I'm not into, I'm not about cheating. I'm all about monogamy. And that's just me. But I work with a lot of people that are against that, that go with open relationships. They're poly, swingers. That's fine, right? I want people to be able to challenge beliefs, but question, why do you believe what you believe? And have you ever thought differently or challenged those aspects? It doesn't make you a rotten person, but a word of caution and warning. If you challenge those beliefs around family members or people that have raised you, they are gonna, they're gonna give you backlash. I'm gonna be honest, right? Most people are not gonna, oh, good question, or you're questioning that. What do you want to know? They're going to rip you apart. They're going to ridicule you, and they're going to try to manipulate you and guilt trip you into, because you're questioning someone's belief systems and the traditional roles, right? It's 2021, and what's traditional now might not be traditional 10, 20, 30 years ago, right? And looking at those aspects, what are some of those traditions that you have uh, went against? I'm going to tell you: living with someone before getting married, premarital sex. Ooh, tattoos, right, are only for bad people. What other traditional views? If you are not holding up with the religious values, certain things are going to happen, right? So we can look at all these avenues and where did you learn your stuff from? And what are things that you're battling now within your own life, within your own relationship? Um, that is a challenging, and those guilt trips from how you were raised are pulling at you. Instead of looking, am I hurting myself? Am I hurting other people? No. Then what is, and it's not illegal. what is the harm in that? And do people still view me as a rotten person or a great person, a good person, if I don't follow certain beliefs? And I know this is a very difficult, challenging topic for a lot of people out there. And there's people out there that are going to watch us. Oh, Greg, how dare you challenge my religious beliefs? Or, I'm not challenging your religious beliefs. I want you to challenge your own beliefs about how you were raised and everything else. Okay. What are your thoughts about prenuptial agreements, right? How untraditional is that? You have some people that are going to bash, right? I'm not signing a prenup. That just means we're destined for divorce. No, it doesn't. Things happen, right? Or if you really love me, you won't have me sign a prenuptial agreement. Well, if you really love me, you will. Now, what do you do with it? Right? So it's about these beliefs and how you want to live. Or, one thing, homeschooling versus traditional educational aspects, right? We can go all over the place about what that looks like, right? That the kids have to be raised and structured a certain way, and that might work for some people, but it might not work for other people. You have to look at, excuse me, stay at home parent, right? And I get, because of finances or stuff, childcare is outrageous, but it is looking at, I am staying home because it's the best thing for my kid. And I'm like, is it the best thing for your kid or the best thing for you? I'm going to challenge your belief. And where is the research, the scientific, empirical, validated research that substantiates that it's better for your kid? My mom worked. Me and my sister turned out, I think, okay. Grandmother worked. So we could go down the, about contradicting stories in looking at these avenues. But it comes down to, what other traditional elements do you cut across the grain with? What about divorce, right? And it's sad. I don't want anybody to get divorced or to be broken up or heartbroken. I try to heal that, right? But some people in toxic situations, or some people just don't mesh, but yet you're supposed to stay together forever and ever. I'm not about divorce, okay? I'm about people trying to work things out, but there are situations where divorce is a lot better and it's a lot healthier than staying in a toxic, horrible, or dead marriage, okay? What about other beliefs about traditionalists about sexual practices, right? Oh, good boys don't do that. Good girls don't do that. Why not? Right? What other areas? What about women in certain professions, right? Politicians, doctors, lawyers. Awesome. Terrific. Woohoo. Like I said, I'm all about women being independent and going after their dreams and goals. What about men now, right? And I've had a lot of students, male students, college students that were going into nursing. Why is that wrong? Right. So there's so many things that, and I love it how people are challenging the status quo. People are challenging traditional roles and beliefs in those aspects and challenging why does it have to be this way? Tell me, why is this better? Is it for your own comfort zone, or you're just telling me what you were taught because of fears, because of insecurities, in really challenging, what doesn't make you a bad person if you are not religious, if you had premarital sex. Oh my God, that makes you a bad person. Let's see. You're still caring, still compassionate, still care about other people. Huh? Really? But now it changes everything because of one facet. That's where I want to do this show and to be able to challenge those popular beliefs and traditional values. They might work for you. I'm not saying they don't, right? Intentions might be terrific, but look at, why are you living the way you are living now? What is going on, right? And, maybe me, like I said, I'm all about one on one relationships, monogamy. That doesn't mean it works for everybody else. I respect everybody's views. I work with swingers, open relationships, poly, bisexual, same sex relationships, right? And I could go on, and I respect those. I want people to be happy and be in love. What works for somebody doesn't have to work for you, but it is pigeonholed throughout the years, centuries, thousands of years, that you are supposed to live a certain way because of tradition. That's what you're supposed to do. My question is, why? Are you able to challenge that? And what you want to share those, similar beliefs, of course, with somebody else, somebody that believes in premarital sex and somebody that wants to wait till they get married. That's going to be a huge clash, right? Um, One person's very, very religious, devout, and the other one isn't. Some people might respect that and get along, and it's not an issue. But if they want their partner to be one or the other, it's going to clash, people. So I want you to be able to challenge what's important to you. Why is it important to you? Where did those beliefs come? Did they come from you, or were they inflicted? And I do say inflicted intentionally. Were they inflicted upon you by people that raised you, family members, mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, whoever raised you, religious beliefs, foster care, regardless where they came from, right? One person says it has to be this way, and that's how you're supposed to be. But then you see other people living a certain way. They're not hurting other people, they're good people. I want to know what is holding you back from challenging how you were raised in those traditional beliefs. Okay. Again, it's not a right or wrong, people. It's going after, how do you want to live your life as long as you're, a decent person, right? You're not hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. You're not, let's face it, doing something illegal. But what is holding you back from challenging those beliefs? Is it because you don't want somebody mad at you? You don't want somebody thinking poorly of you, that you're always trying to keep reaching that person's acceptance and appreciation, who raised you, how we're raised. Well, I want you to challenge that. What if I told you I've had countless stories that of sexual abuse, okay, trauma, sexual abuse from adults. I used to work with kids many, many years ago. I told you I specialized in sexual and severe trauma with kids. And but society says, in tradition, that's your mom, that's your dad. It still doesn't matter what happened. You need to forget about that. It's still your mom. You're supposed to be loyal to mom or dad who did that and care for you and love them because it's your parent. I'm like, what the hell is that? Who taught you that? Why would they believe that? And my question is, why is that so? That's messed up, right? So I'm all about challenging those beliefs and for the betterment of who you are as a person versus going after and you're supposed to follow suit because you will be guilt tripped, manipulated. And how many people have been with abusive um, partners that sexually abuse their kids, physically abuse their kids, and they still stay with that partner because, well, we're married and we're supposed to be married forever and ever. Are you kidding me? Right? Or let's face it, well, if I leave now, I can't afford to live. That's reality, right? But you're more or less saying it's okay for that kid, that person who abused your kids. Maybe you should not be fit to be a parent any longer. How do you like that? So I'm all about challenging those views and those aspects in what goes on and how you were raised versus, how do you want to live your life and still be a good person? Okay. So check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. Catch the Art of Relationships show live all over the place, live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all them, LinkedIn, every Wednesday at 12 noon, which will be changing in a little bit. I know I mentioned that a little bit ago. And you can catch it. The audio version of the show is always available on iHeart, Spotify, SoundCloud, you name it, all over the place. Spreaker, audio, Amazon, Apple, it's all over the place. Okay. So peace and love to everybody out there. Everybody take care. Okay. Peace.